Alrighty, welcome back everybody of the Pokemon GO universe. Today is June 14, 2020. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hello, it's your boy Pokemon Trigger, please.
Oh yeah. Chris, how's it going, my good man?
Oh, it's going good. I got so many tournaments going on, dude. I'm actually winning for once. It's awesome.
Yay, Chris, winning with those matches. Well, we're going to be talking about some pretty interesting news. This is the Purified Podcast, and of course, I forget to do something in my intro, you know? Yes, love the hat, man. Yes, because I am wearing my Mystic hat today. Pretty cool, pretty awesome. I have another one with all my pins, but it's my car, and I'm just too lazy to get it right now. So yeah, we are here once again to talk all things Pokemon related news, updates, and of course ranting, because we like to rant about Pokemon Go in general. So if you're here on the stream, make sure that you of course give a like to the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you're on Twitch, follow. That's actually pretty nice. And then if you're on podcast feeds, make sure you listen through the end, because we have some very important news to talk about. And some very cool things happening in the next few days. But anyways, before we start with all of that, we're going to go ahead and recap our events of the week. So one of the things that we just want to go ahead and see is like, Chris, have you gotten any shinies?
Yes. I got one I really needed on right after Patrat Hour. I ended up getting a shiny Talo.
Ooh.
And then after that, yesterday night, I got a really big shiny Coughing, a like level 33 one. I was like, what? Why? It's a beautiful shiny. I love the pink clouds.
Nice,
so
nice. So I have gotten Talos before. I had like 2 Talos back in the day, and this was the one that's not a shiny when it hatched from the egg, of course. But for today, or actually from the week, I was actually pretty shinyless for a while there. However, recently, actually, it was Friday night. I was coming back from my friend's place. I was just hanging out with them. And all of a sudden, I opened the game. And there was a light response in one of my local parks or local Pokestops. And I get a shiny Rattata.
Oh, okay.
It was actually a Lowland Rattata, too. It was one of the shinies I didn't have before. So it's actually pretty nice.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
pretty good. Did I get this Venonat during the week too? That was probably last week. I think.
Yeah, I'm really jealous of that guy.
Yeah, I got it last week. I didn't talk about it. I think I remember not talking about it. But oh well. Yeah, shiny Rattata is actually pretty nice. It's actually one of the Alolan shinies and I haven't gotten yet, just like Alolan Geodude. But I think it's pretty good so far. I mean, not too much in the shiny department aside from the Bronzong Raid, or I don't know, the thing that we have on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
You would think that I know the name of it, guys. Sometimes I do forget. Spotlight Hour
Eventually.
things. Yeah, eventually. Yeah, I'll remember the names, you know. All right, guys. So that's usually at least our small little tips or things that we happen. So shinies all around. No shinies around in my overworld right now.
Let me check.
Yeah, not for me at least. I got like 4 different Pokemon that could have been shiny and nothing was shiny for me. So
It's raining over by me.
It is? Wow.
In the game, at least.
Yeah, well, weather conditions in Pokemon Go never affect anything that happens in the real life, because when you're in sunny weather, for some reason it's raining, you're like, what? But yeah, shinies all together. So I guess we got a pretty good, decent, small little shiny hunts for the week. So that's pretty nice. Aside from that, Chris, what has your champion research been coming along so far?
Legit, the only thing I've done so far is I worked to get that Galarian Meowth.
Okay.
And then I still need to do 11 raids.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've taken my sweet time.
Yeah, me too. So far, I got it up to 5 raids, so I need 10 more to finish. I haven't even evolved all the Pokemons, and then both researchers are just sitting there right now. Since there's no completion time for this, it's kind of like the lazy throwback thing that we're just waiting for, for us to like raid hour or something to just like go off and just like get as many shinies as possible. Which actually leads me to my next segment, which is the Latios and Latias special raid weekend that we talked about last week. The announcement was actually made pretty early, but then the weekend came around, and now we're actually on it. So you can actually raid Latios and Latias. Yay! I'm guessing you haven't done anything, haven't you?
I've rated one.
Yeah, I haven't raided.
I need to raid more, but I've only rated one.
I haven't raided anything. I haven't actually had the chance to actually go out and play and raid anything. That's like, why?
I mean, like, how much more time do we even have?
Tomorrow, Monday at 1 p.m. I think. So yeah,
You're not doing on my lunch break. I don't know.
It's actually no. It's ended in a day and an hour, so I'm guessing 9 p.m. local time.
Okay. So I can do some after work then.
Yeah, so which actually finishes off the recaps because remember that Sakura is coming out back on Tuesday at 1 p.m. So that will be pretty nice, pretty sweet new Pokemon Pokédex entry. I'll definitely be out during the time to get some going because luckily enough, I'm actually off of work this entire week, so I'll be able to play around, get some things done, and do some extra streams and everything. Hey, I need that break. I mean, work has been stressful since this whole pandemic happened, so luckily enough, I've been able to get that approved, and now it is. So that's what we got.
Very nice.
Yeah. So luckily, Latios and Latias will be here for another day. So maybe tomorrow, if I have some time, I'll probably do it. It's gonna be a lazy day for me tomorrow, definitely, for many reasons. But yeah, definitely just go out and raid as much as possible. If you listen to the podcast, make sure that Latios and Latias, if it's a shiny you haven't gotten. We did go over the shinies, how many shinies we had last week, so you guys probably don't need to know that about now anymore. So, all right.
I'll give you a hint, 0.
I got one of each, but one of them was a trade, and the other one were legit caught from research breakthrough, so it wasn't even raids. I was back then. I did a lot of raids for Latios, not comparing to one of our community members where, they raided like insanely amount and never got the shiny. Oh my god.
I didn't go as hard, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's still kind of nice to get the shiny, but it's also kind of nice to just sit back. Back then, we didn't have remote raiding either, so it wasn't like it was a big issue back in the day if we wanted to get raided going. So, that being said, of course, since that's mostly the recaps that we have, let's dive into today's research topics, which are actually a lot going on this week. A lot of announcements from Niantic and Pokemon GO itself. But we'll go ahead and talk about the first research topic here, which is actually expanding Niantic's wafer access and in-game rewards. As you guys know, we actually talked about what a badge in the Pokemon GO that tells you the wafer, like the submissions you do, how you help your community, what was accepted and everything. So if you actually go into the game right now, you can actually see it. And there is a wafer badge that you can actually earn. Goes from 50 to 500 to 1,000 submissions and agreements actually happen. So that is a lot, actually. I have 4. Which that's when I started doing wafer when it first came out. After that, I kind of fell off from that, and I was just like, okay, I seen that people are actually submitting and everything. But I do have to say that the wafer has actually helped a lot of players, especially the rural players. Myself included, because back in my day, my neighborhood didn't have the Pokestops that I have now. And then all of a sudden, I start seeing 1 Pokestop and then 2 Pokestops. I'm just like, okay, so somebody else in my community plays Pokemon GO. This is amazing.
I feel like I should have at least 1 Wayfarer, but I guess I don't. Whoops.
Well, I mean, you can go ahead to go to the link and get the submissions going. You do have to go through the process of testing to see if you actually get approved to be a Wayfarer reviewer. Okay. But after that, it's pretty easy to actually get reviews done. It is like a lot of people call it like homework. You go in, you review it, you see if it's actually a good spot, good location, if it's not duplicate, things like that. You check the area and see if it's not under any of the private places like businesses or communities and everything like that. So overall it's a pretty fair, easy program. But this is what we're gonna be actually talking about today. That it empowers, of course, eligible Pokemon GO players and English players to review and ultimately decide on which points of interest get added on a platform. They are extending this to Pokemon GO players now to level 38 instead of 40. Before, it was just a full level 40 agreement or you had to be at least level 40 to be actually able to submit or review Wayfair applications. However, because of this small little change, now level 38 players and English engines level 10, which is actually, I think it was 12 back in the day, will be able to dominate the same way. So it's kind of easy to get to that point. Of course, grinding to level 38, still not an easy task. But,
No.
if you go through what Pokemon Go has actually implemented in experience gains, hitting level 38 isn't really that hard anymore. You just got to go through a couple of months. I want to say maybe through 3 months of hardcore gameplay if you want to get in there. If you want to do casually, then of course it's going to take you a little bit longer.
I was going to say, if you're not paying, it will take a tiny bit longer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they have plenty of events right now.
Oh yeah, definitely, and many more to come, of course. Pokemon Go is nearing its 4-year anniversary. I'm sure they have more things planned, and there's definitely more things that you'll be able to do if you want to get into submitting Pokestops for your community, of course. Aside from what I was actually mentioning, they have added the reward medals and in-game, so you'll see how many submissions actually get approved and everything. It's just like the 50, 500, and 1,000 that I mentioned. So if you really are a completionist, like many people are in this game, make sure you check out Wayfair, because that's going to be an empty batch if you don't start doing it soon. It's probably gonna stay like that for me for a while, but I will definitely start making some submissions and see how my progress is on that. Chris, are you gonna start implementing? Yeah, I figure as much.
I like having good badges. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely. And it's actually a pretty nice badge. Unfortunately, since I don't have more than 4, I can't see the bronze medal anymore. Oh well. Either way, that is pretty nice from Niantic to help us, get some. I want to say motivation. It's a good motivation for people to just say, hey, there's something in game that awards me from doing this. Let me go ahead and do this right now. So even though it's a little tedious, because, getting to 1,000 agreements isn't really that easy. But there's always submissions every day. There's always ways to make sure that you can expand the community, especially the rural communities. Like, aside from the ones that I have right now around my house, there's not many that actually been approved around my neighborhood, and I've seen some that could actually happen if people were to agree to it. But it's just a requirement to make sure they see if other people can actually see the same thing. So Chris, what about you? Do you see any potential Wayfair dominations that you may actually be able to do?
The only one I've done so far, and this is really stupid, but I tried doing the dumpster behind my work to see if I could get a Pokestop at my work. Obviously it didn't work, but I'll keep my eyes out for sure. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the Pokestops around me right now, but I'm sure I can get some more.
I'm same. Right now, I mean, whenever I go to work or when I'm home, at least I have some Pokestops that I can spin if I need to do a daily spin or anything extra. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of cool, but I know I can actually help out more the community that way. So I'll try to see if I can get into Wayfair just a bit tiny more to see if, as I was saying, just make sure that we can help out our community out there. So yeah, so that's Wayfair. Make sure, guys, if you're listening, make sure that you check them out check it out because it's nice. It's pretty nice. So you want to at least talk about what's the next topic right there, real quick, Chris?
Oh yeah. Pokestop scanning. This sounds really interesting. I saw a little bit about it.
Yeah, so as we mentioned before in one of the blog posts that Niantic or Pokemon Go went and did, Pokemon scanning is actually something that you can now do in Pokemon Go. Now, how does it work? It's a little convoluted, I want to say. I kept trying to read it and I was like, so how do I do this? How do I do that? Things like that. Okay, so I'm just going to read what the help center of Niantic and Pokemon Go has actually posted in there. And if I sound like a robot, it's because I'm trying to make sure that you guys understand. So Pokestop scanning is an opt-in feature that lets qualified Pokemon Go trainers record a stream of images of Pokestops and gyms and provide related information to Niantic, including time and location of the recording, how your phone moved while you were recording, and some general characteristics of your device. Information gathered during Pokestop scannings allows Niantic to generate accurate, dynamic 3D maps of the real-world objects, improving our understanding of how virtual objects persist. how they grounded in specific locations and where they are related to each other. Basically, devices will better understand what they're looking in order to augment reality in real time and allow Niantic to explore and deliver new types of AR experience, which require an accurate and up-to-date 3D map of the world. So basically, the steps that they actually have on this and scanning a Pokestop, you will go to the Pokestop or the gym related to where you want to scan, and then you will click the upper right corner. I think I can show it right here. So you will go ahead and put the upper corner, that little sign that says to the right, and then you will click, contributions to the Pokestops, add a picture, edit, and then you will scan a Pokestop. Of course, right now it says that I'm too far away from the Pokestop to contribute to the scanning. However, you will be able to scan it, and then you're opting to the feature via your on-screen prompts and your first time recording a scan. Tap the record button to start scanning, and then keep the object within the frame and slowly walk around the object if possible. Tap upload later or upload now to upload a Pokeball scan. Now, basically you will go around, if you guys can see me of course in the stream, you will go around the actual object that has the qualifications of the Pokestop, and then just scan it around to make sure that you have a good understanding. Now, I haven't done this yet. However, it's kind of a neat feature to just map out our world. As you guys know, AR or augmented reality is something that Pokemon Go has implemented since day one and has actually expanded in that to many different ways to say, hey, we want to actually feel like we're in the real world, but with the game that we love the most. So if we can actually do this and expand to Niantic's goal to see the world in a more brighter and fun way instead of just seeing the same thing over again, or if you want to actually contribute it, you can always scan that Pokestop and then send it to Niantic and see if it's something that they will expand in their future AR technology out in the world. So it's kind of nice, kind of cool, but it seems interesting how they will use this in later implementations and of their game magic, I want to say. But Chris, what do you think about this so far?
My biggest hope is that the 3D that they're using for it looks really, really good. Mm-hmm. If it does, this is going to be really, really hype, and I can't wait to see the Pokestops that people scan. Yeah, but we'll see.
Definitely. I think this also will implement things like, in one of the blog posts back in when they were saying, hey, we're going to want a brand new feature for Pokemon GO Fest and everything. I think that's going to actually implement that because unfortunately because right now we can't go out and play Pokemon Go or go to Pokemon GO Fest. We have the dates of what it's actually going to be. We don't have any more news, unfortunately, about that. But I know that they wanted to actually experience where we are and see the virtual size of, what a game can look like in virtual reality or augmented reality, however you want to see it. But that's really, I feel like that's the first step to start on a new Pokemon Go experience at least in our game specifically, because I know that they want to do the same for all the other games, but this is the way that they want to do it for the game in Pokemon Go. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see how things go. But it seems pretty exciting. We just need to know a little bit more before we actually start getting into it. Will I do it? I mean, there are a couple of places I don't want to do it because, my neighborhood has the 2 Pokestops that are just inside the neighborhood. I kind of don't want people to see how the neighborhood looks like. So we'll see. Definitely up to more, of course. So Chris, what about our next topic for today?
Let me take a look.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be the Pokecoin earning revamp. Yes. The only thing I hate is that it's back down a little bit. Oh my gosh. That's the only thing I don't like. Yeah,
definitely. So Pokemon Go has been testing, as you guys know, the Pokecoin system since I want to say last month. They wanted to, last month actually. They wanted to revamp it, earn more Pokecoins, do different stats. We were all raging about it because it was just extra 5 coins to the existing 50 that we had, and we had to do insanely amount of tasks to reward us for 5 extra Pokestops or 5 extra coins in game. So they listened to the community and they wanted to respond to that feedback. So this is what they came up with, and this is how they're revamping it, and this is why I call it a revamp. So when this update goes live, the following changes will be implemented. The maximum number of Pokecoins earned per day will be 50. So we're going back to 50. No more extra Pokestops after that. The number of Pokecoins earned for the different gyms will be 6 per hour. So you'll actually be able to earn more Pokecoins than what they were originally thinking. Before, using 6 hours to earn the Pokecoins, you'll earn it in a 2-hour period or something. So it was actually taking longer to earn the Pokecoins.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It was horrible. Luckily, it's only a testing period, so they wanted the feedback from the Pokemon, from the trainers first.
They got it quick. Got it quick.
Yeah. So the maximum number of Pokecoins earned per day from defending gyms will be 30. So instead of earning 50 coins in a gym, you'll be earning 30, which still okay. But we're so used to the 50 that we feel like it might actually be a little slap in the end of the day. However, this is why
they raised it a little bit.
Yeah, so this is why they actually said 30 for gyms. The number of Pokecoins earned per day for completing the feature activities in today's view will be 20. So 30 for just defending a gym and 20 from completing the task. So far, it's actually been doing okay. I haven't seen anybody out there raging about it anytime soon. However, it's kind of like just splitting the type of task that we've been doing instead of just like earn it all in one feature, which was just the gym defending part of it. But it also been implemented that the tasks are like less. There's still the one task that says win a ray, but then there is like 5 different tasks only instead of the 10 that we used to do for only 5 Pokecoins. So
okay.
it kind of actually helped out a lot in that sense. People are, I don't want to say like super happy about it, but they are at least more content than having to know that you don't have to do insanely amount of tasks for 5 extra Pokecoins and then have to, defend so many gyms at one point to, just get the extra 50 you need, of course, so.
I mean, I gotta say, the fact that they raised the Pokecoins to 6 per hour, that's already a huge improvement. And I definitely can see the bonus of being able to get 20 without even having to leave the home for the most part. Because, yes, we do have the raid passes that let you raid from home, but that's not really going to help you too much when you're using more Pokecoins than you're earning. But
yeah, definitely. Luckily enough, things are still in their, quarantine gameplay. I feel like so this is maybe something that we can talk about right now, because I didn't put it in the actual notes or the show notes for this, but it's more like, do you think that this quarantine gameplay that we're having will be ending in the next month or so?
I don't think it's going to end until, as a whole, the government says everything is fine. Right. And obviously they're not like freaking out right now, but I think that they're waiting for somebody to say something, and nobody's saying anything yet.
Right.
On calming down completely.
Yeah, so if you go to today's view in Pokemon Go, you'll see that the special bonuses we have from the quarantine, things that we had since this whole thing started has been extended to the end of this month. In double or time times incense duration, increase instant effectiveness, opening as many gifts and receiving as many gifts, or holding many gifts. No walking requirements in Go Battle League. Half distance eggs, and then boosted damage for trainers battling in remote raiding, which we knew. Okay, so every time we go at the end of the month, every time has happened that they extended this kind of bonuses. But people have been talking how the player is going to adapt to. How the player is going to adapt to the all rebacks of this, um, the best way to say it is like how we're gonna go back to normal in this game after experiencing this kind of bonuses for such a long time. You know, it's like, oh, it's been 3 months since this bonus has been active. It's gonna be almost 4 by the time we actually finish them. Are we gonna go back to just having like mediocre instant spawns? Are we gonna go back to having only to hold 10 gifts and only setting 20 at a time? Are we gonna do all those things that, or open 20? I'm sorry, I meant to say that. What about remote raiding? You know, we still have to boost it on remote raiders. We don't have to use many people to do level 1s or 2s anymore. We may need more people to help us out. I know invitations are coming, which we'll talk about in just a second too. But all this type of bonuses we have, these special bonuses, do you think that it's actually hindering or kind of like making the player more entitled to have them instead of actually going back to what they used to be?
I think the fact that Niantic has already been very clear that this is a short-term thing, and they're not like extending it to like the largest it can be and then pulling it away quicker.
Right.
They're like telling us by the month, okay, you have till now, and then they're extending it by the month. I think that's a really good idea for them because it's not like they're taking away anything. They're giving us more. It makes us happier. Instead of making us sadder when they just pull it away randomly. So when it does eventually end, it's definitely going to be at the end of the month, I feel like. But I feel like they're going to give us a bigger heads up than just it ending without us having a clue.
So
I'm not sure, though.
I've been listening to a lot of different people about this topic. Lure Up, GoCast, everything else out there. And even like the Trainer Club actually made a video specifically about this kind of bonuses. And I'm just like, okay, this actually seems interesting. However, because we're such good players, quote unquote good players, or good community,
Sure.
we understand that, you know, we're going to be raging about everything that's going to happen in the game no matter what. And that's why we rant about this in the Pokemon, in this podcast anyways.
Because we're passionate, man.
We're passionate. Yeah, we're passionate about it. Now, I wouldn't mind going back because I already experienced and how things were before, you know, the quarantine started. You know, having to grind for the experience, the Stardust, the different raids, things like that, you know, Pokemon GO really built upon since day one. And I was like, okay, it's understandable. And I know a lot of players can come up with this at the same time. However, there are many players who just started playing this game because of being quarantined. And they were like, okay, I have nothing else to do. Let's play Pokemon GO and let's try this game for the first time. They have experienced this type of bonuses since day one from their gameplay. So how do you actually like implement a system where you're gonna have the older player base happy while the newer player base doesn't get screwed over?
I mean, you know what I think's going to happen is they're going to make you have to do everything the old way, and half of the players are just going to stop.
Right.
The other half of the players might like it enough to kind of adjust their play style to follow ours.
Right. Now,
which I don't think is that crazy.
Right. Now, there is one thing that other people are saying. Let's meet everybody at the middle of this. Don't take away so many of the bonuses we have, but also, you know, make it the requirement of what Pokemon GO has built on since the beginning. So it really depends on what kind of bonuses could stay that will be really helpful in the community. Now, instances maybe could be a little bit better. I do feel like the 30-second every spawn is kind of like nuts because you can barely even catch one of the Pokemons every now and then just go to the next one. Maybe, you know,
especially if it pops out a few times. Yeah.
Right. Maybe time it up to 45 seconds or something like that. Definitely not every 5 minutes because every 5 minutes actually like takes you longer, especially if you're sitting in one place.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's
like just waiting for it to come. Yeah.
Or if you're walking around, of course you'll have more spawns, but you know that really is what the core mechanic of the game is. You know, walking around.
Yeah.
So that's one of the bonuses. Like maybe another bonus will be the gift system. Let us hold that amount of gifts again. Let us keep the amount of gift we're getting. Let us keep 20. Let us send 40 or open 40 or whatever is the amount that they want us to do. Because as many times as we want to, having 200 friends or more, depending on what they decide to do in later future, it's kind of ridiculous that we can only open so many gifts, especially when we want to grind like egg events or something like that. You can only open 20 gifts, send 10 or hold 10.
Don't get me started. Oh my gosh.
And then, having the egg pool never actually show up because you can never get an egg or something. Let us at least keep that kind of feature because it's just nice to have it in that sense. You'll still be able to, if you open as many gifts, you'll still be getting more money, Niantic. You understand this. You will be hatching more eggs for that reason.
We gotta use incubators, man. We gotta use incubators.
Definitely. Now, something that it's really going to be interesting if they actually do take away some of these features will be the walking requirements of Go Battle League. Since we know that Go Battle League is supposed to actually require us to walk a certain amount of kilometers to get a battle set ready, do you think that this is also going to stop the players from doing Go Battle League? Now, again, meet us at the middle, Niantic. Don't take it all away, but still implement it. I understand that's how the feature works, but don't make us walk 3 kilometers to be able to unlock maybe 1.5 kilometers or something similar to that, or 2 kilometers.
1 kilometer, yeah.
1 kilometer is probably cutting a little too close. In the middle, right? That's why I said 1.5. But yeah, it's just making sure that the feature still functions the way it's supposed to, but still making the players better. Now, Chris, I'm sure you have very much to say about this feature.
I have a lot of thoughts. Something I've heard a lot is a lot of the people, even the people that PvP a lot and love Go Battle League, they get burnt out doing all of them at once. Mm-hmm. So I kind of understand them wanting to kind of put them in sets based on how many kilometers you walk.
Right.
It stops you from getting burnt out at it all at once.
Right.
Some people love it. I don't know. It's all up to you. Personally, I don't like doing them all at once because it's just a lot of battles to do, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. If you think about it, if you do all your sets at once in Go Battle League, it's like doing a full tournament every single day. Like if you go to the Select Arena, you actually do a tournament, a 4-round tournament. It will take you the same amount of time to do that many rounds to do as the Go Battle League sets. So
well, that's more fun for me because I don't feel like it comes down to luck a lot of the time.
Yeah, but if you're doing 2 hours worth of battles, let's say you're doing 2 hours worth of battles, that's every day is you're doing a Go Battle League Silt Arena tournament every single day. And imagine that. I mean, we have time when we do Silt Arena. We have time to analyze, time to work our battles, practice things like that. We have time to relax and do different things. But if you're doing it every single day, if you're doing a Silt Arena tournament every single day, wouldn't you be burned out too?
Well, I know a lot of people try to rush through the battles too. Like as soon as they think, oh, there's no way I can pull out a win, just quit out.
Well, yeah,
that never see that in Sylph. Never.
Well, we'll talk about that in our PvP section for sure, but there's more to it than to that. But that's what I'm saying, it's making sure that we can meet them halfway, or they can meet us halfway when we come to those special bonuses, For sure. So we'll see. Niantic probably has something in plan for us. I'm thinking because it's the end of spring and the beginning of summer is when they want us to go back to, regular gameplay. But at least they'll know, that the difficulties of it. Now, something like the hatch distance is a nice addition. I love having to hatch a 2 kilometer arc only by walking 1 kilometer. I love doing all of the super curious things, but I understand that this is a feature that needs to go back to what it used to be. 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 7 kilometers, whatever the eggs that you have. We need that type of going back to it in the regular basis. I understand some people will be mad about it, but it really doesn't help if you're, hatching eggs at a half distance all the time. Although we can hatch us more and pay us more to Niantic, it doesn't really help out that much, Mm-hmm. So I think those kind of bonuses can be revamped to help us, the newer players, the older players, whoever the hardcore grinder or the closest to be. I do think that we can actually be better if they actually extend things like that. And Julie, I do see you back there. Yeah, no worries. It will be fine. All right. So that's what we have on that whole bonuses thing. We'll see how it goes until the end of the month. We got around 60 more days technically on it, and maybe they'll extend them, maybe not. We'll see how Pokemon Go or Niantic tell us about it. So now that we rant about this, because I didn't put it in part of the show notes, let's talk about the next piece of news that we have, Chris.
Oh yes, Weedle Community Day coming up.
Oh,
very soon.
Yeah. So as you guys know, the poll for the next Community Day Pokemon was announced last month. We did have that throughout the entire live stream. We were able to vote. Weedle came up on top, Ghastly number 2, so we'll have Weedle as the June Community Day. Now, they have gone back to say that this is a Community Day. This is not a Home Edition Community Day. But
Really?
on Saturday, June 20, which is actually this next Saturday coming up, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. local time, you'll be able to experience the appearance of Weedle appearing more in the wild, Kakuna evolving Kakuna to Weedle, what am I talking about? Beedrill. During the event, up to 2 hours afterwards, will run its Drill Run exclusive move, tech special snapshots to see a surprise, and then there'll be a one-time purchase June Community Day bundle featuring an elite Charge TM, 30 Ultra Balls, 3 star pieces, and 3 incense. The bonuses, though, is the best part of this announcement, which will be 3 times catch star dust.
I'm super hyped. We better get Weather Boost, please. Please.
We'll hope for a nice cloudy weather here in Florida. So.
Oh yes, it's gonna happen. Come on.
Yeah.
It's
So.
been raining all week.
They did also said that, of course, there will be no live stream this time around. There will only be the June Community Day. It's still the bonuses of like incense activating during the event will last 3 hours. Your body Pokemon will bring you more, Pokeballs and items to help you out through your adventure. Which a lot of people were saying that was broken throughout the Community Day last week or last month. For the first 3 hours, that your body never brought you any Pokeballs, which was hindering the players. But then the Pokemon actually started getting more Pokeballs in the last 3 hours of the event. So it was kind of like win and lose depending on what it is. But this time around, they didn't announce, the body will help you out through it.
Super.
And of course, they did say, with all that said, who's ready for Widow Community Day? Let's go, Harry Buck Pokemon fans. I mean,
Harry Bug.
yeah, sure. We'll take it. But yeah, so that is the full announcement, of course, of our June Community Day Weedle Pokemon. The shiny is kind of nice. It's kind of neat. But I do feel like we need more. Now, in the data mine, they did APK mine from the data miners, of course. They did find out the code for the Harry Situation quest. And interestingly enough, they did not announce it in their blog post for the Community Day, which usually when there is something like that, they will tell you, hey, there is this special ticketed event that you can do for 99 cents. You'll encounter Whittle a little bit more and help Willow through his research on Whittle. But interestingly enough, they didn't announce that, and people are actually asking why, if we kind of already knew. Well, we're not supposed to know, but guys, this is Pokemon Go, so.
It's very interesting, yeah. I'm curious if either A, they're waiting till last second, or maybe they're going to be like, oh, this is your punishment. You guys don't get it anymore. Ha. We're trying to lose out on money. Joke on you.
Well,
I don't know.
It's not like they're really losing a lot. They're more like, they're expanding on it. But either way, I understand. Maybe they'll announce it in the next few days. We don't know. This is another week of Pokemon Go that we're going to go through, of course. And we'll, of course, let you know of our experiences once Sunday comes around. Anyhow, so this next one is a little bit, well, not interesting. It's more like understandable. Discontinue of the 32-bit Android devices in Pokemon Go. So Pokemon Go has announced that some devices in Android will not be working Pokemon Go anymore. Exclusively the 32-bit devices, which include Samsung Galaxy S4, S5, Note 3, J3, which I didn't even think that was a thing, Sony Xperia Z2 and Z3, Motorola Moto G first generation, and many Android devices released before 2015. Now, guys, if you are a Pokemon Go player with those devices, make sure that you do upgrade. Now, I'm not telling you to spend money to just play Pokemon Go, but if you really love the game, you gotta upgrade soon, because by the I think it's by the beginning of August and this year, that's when they will discontinue those devices. And unfortunately, Pokemon Go will now run in those devices once that it goes live. So that update will be coming out in August. Rip to those guys. Anima, you were right on that.
Dude, I'm thinking about all the people with old phones.
Yeah.
Think about all the phones they have, dude. 5 phones they gotta switch out. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, do remember the multi-accounters? They have like many phones from all, but you can still roll Pokemon Go even though it's like laggy as it ever can be.
Yeah.
But I know for sure that this will help out, make the game a little bit better. They don't have to worry about the support in different devices. And they have done this in the past with different type of devices, notably a couple of Apple devices like Apple iPhone 4 and iPhone 5. They actually discontinued those devices to support Pokemon Go. So I know it's not an uncommon thing to see, but again, because the world always technologically advances all this time, you will always see a decrease on those devices, because unfortunately, the game can only run so well in the devices, and then once new features come around, that's going to be interesting. Thank you so much, the Waterbolt, for following me on Twitch. Welcome to the stream, and welcome to the Purified Podcast, our Sundays beautiful podcast, of course. We actually have quite a bit of people watching in Twitch, which is surprising.
Happy about that.
Thank you so much for joining me, guys, for sure. We are the Purified Podcast. We're watching so much. We are trying to talk all things Pokemon Go, but you guys will probably know that, of course. But yeah, so make sure that if you want to keep playing Pokemon Go, upgrade your devices. If you are holding on some devices, all devices, make sure you can upgrade them through your career. ASAP. Well, you got a couple months, so you got time to save up if you need to. All right, so let's talk about our next piece of research topic, Chris.
The Solstice and Bug Out event.
The event details have been out.
I'm excited for half of it.
Half of it? What do you mean half of it?
Don't worry about it.
So, as you guys know, last week they announced that Pokemon Go will have both his Solstice event and his Bag of event happening this month. So now the details have been actually fully revealed, so we'll let you guys know what you need to expect. So, as Pokemon Go stated, Shiny Clefairy arrives and Lunatone and Sodra will be changing regions during the Solstice themed event. What do you mean? What do you mean, Chris?
It's Tony by Soul Rock, man.
Oh, okay. Now I understand why you're only half of this ready for this.
Exactly. I'm really excited for Clefairy.
Oh my god. Okay, so celebrate the days. Okay, so to celebrate the days getting longer in the Northern Hemisphere and the nights doing the same in the Southern Hemisphere, Pokemon Go Solstice theme events will be coming back. Get ready for Shiny Clefairy and more. Why do you want me to say this twice? So the event will run on Friday, June 19, from 8 a.m. to Wednesday, June 24 at 10 p.m. local time. So it actually starts this Friday, which is nice. So Pokemons associated with the Sun and Moon, including Clefairy, Sunken, and more, will be appearing more frequently in the wild, hatching from 5K eggs and appearing after completing event-exclusive field research tasks and appearing in raids. Really, why do you put 2 ends? Come on, guys. If you're lucky, you might encounter a Shiny Clefairy. Previously, you could get a Shiny Clefairy only by hatching a Shiny Cleffa and evolving it. So this will be the first time you have a chance to encounter a Shiny Clefairy in the wild. Yeah.
You know what? Amazing.
What?
Shiny Clefairy into Clefable for
PvP. Yeah.
We'll
So I do have 2 Shiny Cleffas here.
Oh,
Flexing.
get out.
Yeah, I do need them better IVs though, because
My stream now.
no,
Bye.
what you mean is your stream? It's our podcast. But yeah, Shiny Clefairy. So actually around this time, when Pokemon Go Fest was happening in 2019, Shiny Clefairy got released in the wild for the mistake from Pokemon Go, of course. Now,
Yep.
I don't know how that translates a year later to finally release it into the wild. I have no idea.
Better late than never.
Okay,
Even
better
though
late.
it came early. I don't know.
I don't know. So Shiny Clefairy technically was a rare catch if you caught it in the wild, while Shiny Clefairy was only in eggs, of course. But then more to the event, of course. Throughout the event, Lunatone and Solrock will both be appearing in 3-star raids and hatching from 5-kilometer eggs regarding of your location. Lunatone and Solrock will appear in the wild in different regions. See the schedule for the details. So on Friday, June 19 at 8 a.m. to Saturday, June 20th at 11, or actually almost at noon or midnight. Lunatone will be appearing more frequently in the wild in the Eastern Hemisphere, and Solrock will appear more in the Western Hemisphere. Hopefully I got those right between right and left. From Sunday, June 21st at 12 a.m. to Monday, June 22nd. That's only 2 days. Local time. Lunatone and Solrock will be appearing more frequently in the wild everywhere. So we only have a 24-hour period for that one. Interesting. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
And then Tuesday, June 23rd at 12 a.m. to Wednesday, June 24th at 10 p.m. local time. Lunatone and Solrock will be swapping hemispheres. Lunatone will appear more frequently in the wild in the Western Hemisphere, and then Solrock will be appearing more in the Eastern Hemisphere. So, looks like for the last day they will be switching regions, which is kind of nice. But I feel. But this is the final part of that. It says once the event is over, Lunatone will stay in the Western Hemisphere, and Solrock will stay in the Eastern Hemisphere. So that means Chris.
I gotta say, I'm a lot more excited. Yeah, I'm gonna be hunting that Solrock boy.
Yeah, so Chris, you better be hunting this event because if once he's gone, he is gone for another year, or at least whatever time.
Maybe longer.
Maybe longer, because it's been a good year and a half since, or a good year or so since.
Too long, yeah.
Yeah, since Solrock and Lunatone switched places the first time around, so we do know that it is time for us to be able to catch the other side of it. Now, if you had a Safari Zone ticket for St. Louis, you were able to actually, or was it Liverpool? One of the two. Either way, you were able to actually, spawn Lunatones in your area, and of course you can get a shiny. Everybody was looking for it. Because it's one of those rare shinies you want, of course.
Oh yeah,
but
it's a beauty.
But of course, I do have my Solrock, so I'll definitely be going hard on Lunatone. I know Chris is just like, man, flex it out, man, flex it out.
I'm trying not to think about it.
So, bonuses for this event will be 2 times Scotch Stardust. So once again, we have another Stardust event coming around, guys. Make sure you have the star pieces ready, because we are in for some nice little dust.
It's a good one.
So, aside from that event, Chris, we have another event that has details announced, and this will be the Bag Out event featuring Shiny Dwebble. I don't know how to say that name. Dwebble. Thank you. So Dwebble, okay, how can I spell that? Of course, because it's a W first. So Dwebble will get a shiny form. Maybe I can actually evolve one once I get the shiny, so I can get a shiny Dex entry. I don't have the other evolution yet, so that's pretty nice.
That's pretty hype, yeah.
Yeah. So shiny Dwebble is out. So now get your incense ready. The Bag of event, it's coming later this month. This will be the perfect opportunity for you to work on your bug catcher medal, and you might even encounter a shiny Dwebble. On Friday, June 26th, by the time the other event ends, of course, at 8 a.m. to Wednesday, July 1st at 10 p.m. local time, the features will be Bag Out Pokemons including Scyther, Benipede, and Dwebble will appear more frequently in the wild, hatching from 5 AKAs, appearing in event field research tasks, and appearing in raids. If you're lucky, you might encounter the shiny. More bug type Pokemons will be attracted to incense. Certain bug type Pokemons will appear more often than others depending on the day you use your incense. So on Friday, June 26th at 8 a.m. to Saturday, June 27th at 12 p.m. local time, Nincada will appear more often on incensed. Yeah, Ninkada, another shiny I need.
That's a good one.
Yeah. You got one, didn't you?
Yeah. I may have 2. Let me check.
Okay, lucky try me then. From Sunday,
Yeah.
from Sunday, June 28th at 12 a.m. to Monday, June 29th at 12 p.m. or a little bit 1 hour before. Wurmple will be attracted to more often to insects, so that's actually pretty nice. I actually want more Wurmple shinies to be able to evolve them because I never really get the evolutions.
Yeah, I don't even have 1 yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be going ham on all of them.
Oh yeah, definitely. I need both of them, but I do have the Wurmple from the party hat, so that one will stay a Wurmple. That's kind of nice. I do need more because I need Beautifly and Duststar, one of the 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
That's yeah.
Yeah. So from Tuesday June 30th to July 1st, Scyther will be attracted more often in instance. So I need another one for a shiny evolution, but that would be nice to have if we actually get it.
Oh yeah.
And then this bonuses of this time will be the 2 times catch experience. So once again, if you are nearing level 40 or about to hit level 40, make sure you get those lucky eggs ready. However, that is not the last piece of news that we have on this one. As previously mentioned in the APKs, Pinsir Raid Day has been announced. On Saturday, June 28th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. local time, 3-star raid featuring Pinsir will be occurring more frequently. Be sure to have your remote raid passes stock and regular raid passes. You can buy them in the shop. There will also be a 1 Pokemon coin bundle available featuring 3 remote raid passes. So let's get ready for that because I'm never gonna use the remote raid passes for Pinsir. Niantic, as much as I love
free raid pass day.
As much as I love you, Niantic, and that's exaggerating actually. No. I don't think I ever want to do a Pinsir raid unless there's some kind of like overpowered PvP move that's gonna feature us. So
I can't think of anything it would get that would make it like worthwhile.
Definitely.
To be honest.
Yeah. So
even in Ultra League.
That is true. So yeah, that is our research topics, Chris. Are you excited from any of them?
I'd say the biggest. I don't know. The last 2 are the biggest hype for sure, because I'm always a shiny hunter.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. I'm definitely also a shiny hunter myself. So there are many. Definitely, Lunatone is gonna be one. Community Day is coming up pretty soon, so that's also a nice little addition. I'll definitely see if I can do something maybe on stream or off stream.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, maybe 3 hours outside, 3 hours in. I gotta get some equipment done soon. So because I'm gonna be revamping my room soon too. So. Anyway, that is the research topics for today. But then we have our Get Good, Get Wreck PvP section. Here we go, Chris.
What a week.
What a week. Yes. So, as a mess of Ultra League happening in Pokemon GO Battle League, or in Pokemon GO Battle League, there's been a
Skeeter?
Disturbance in the force, if you want to go more Star Wars defense. But yeah, as Chris has mentioned, we'll actually be talking about the problem the Go Battle League has actually been happening in the last few days, and that is that right now the Go Battle League is shut down because of a certain exploit that Niantic has addressed since it's been implemented. So what is this exploit you guys are looking for? Well, we only know the details from what we've seen on the social medias. However, this exploit actually grants the player a way to charge in your charge moves way quicker than you might expect in a regular battle.
It's insane.
It is insane. Now, many people, or at least a lot of Pokemon Go players that stream, has actually encountered this specific exploit with somebody. And that name is Jesus in the Go Battle League. There's more to that to his name. I just can't remember the entire name, of course. Now, he, for some reason, shot up into the leaderboard to #1 in the world a couple of days ago. And he was only doing less than 300 battles, and he was already close to the rank 10, while many of the other players, or at least the Go Battle players, barely even got to 2800, and they're fighting for that number 1 spot. So people were checking that out. They were saying, how is this possible? How are you promoting somebody who's done less battles but has a higher rating? That wasn't the problem, really. The problem was the way he was actually using the system, exploiting the Go Battle League to implement himself to more wins, more than losses. Of course, his win-loss ratio probably is like almost 100% at this point. But that's the problem that Go Battle League faced since the beginning of that. And Niantic quickly addressed that this is an exploit. We're going down until further notice, because unfortunately they don't know. I feel like they don't know how to fix this yet. But it's been what, 2-3 days already?
I think it's been 2 days.
2 days? Yeah. So since the announcement of the shutdown, if you go to Go Battle League right now and try to do a set, unfortunately, it is down, and there is no ending to this downtime. We don't know when will they go back up. This actually, unfortunately, affects a lot of the players for 2 reasons. One, if you want to rank to rank 10, it's gonna take you even harder time to actually get to that, since the leaderboard has been reset and taken down the cheater from it. And then 2, the timings of the Go Battle League. Before, we had a specific time of when the season will end. Will they extend that? Will they give us some more extra time? Will they delay Master League and Premier Cup? That's the different things that we are questioning once Go Battle League comes back up. What kind of statement Niantic will do once they technically fix this exploit. But that, unfortunately, has been the sad news of the Go Battle League, which, as much as I love Go Battle League, I mean, I'm not a hard grinder anymore. I used to when, the first thing I first started. But at the same time, it's kind of sad that, you can't go into your battles these days. You can't do anything.
The fact that nobody can.
Yeah, the fact that nobody can, unfortunately, because of one player, and one player specifically. So, don't worry, it will go back up. I'm sure Niantic is working very hard. It's just a weekend too, so I'm guessing that they needed some time to rest and do things differently. But this Niantic works almost 24 hours, 7 days a week. Yeah, they don't rest. They want to make sure the game runs functionally for everybody in any day, shape, or form. So it's unfortunately a disgrace to see that one player causes such a big impact to the Pokemon Go scene, or the Pokemon Go battle scene. So
I'm very interested to see how they figured out they could do the exploit, but it's probably a good thing more people didn't know how.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing, because if this exploit would have gone up to live, we don't even know at what point how many bans and cheaters will be out there to actually see. We understood there's many exploits that Go Battle League had before, and Niantic has been very quick to address them in the last few times. But this one actually caught us by surprise. A lot of people were really surprised that something like this was happening, and I don't know. Just it kind of sad to see a mechanic in the game shut down for just reasons, and I'm sure they're working very hard to make sure that they can stabilize it and bring us back to what Go Battle League is supposed to be. So the full glory will be back for sure. Now, I did wanted to actually do more battles with you, Chris. I do feel like, unfortunately, we are running out of time today.
That's fine.
But also a few things to mention. Chris is actually, as I mentioned before in the last podcast, in his wild tournaments practices. So maybe we'll see Chris in the leaderboards of Silk Arena Go Battle. Not Go Battle League, but Silk Arena. And let's wish him all the luck that we can, guys, because I do want to see him compete with the very best and be the very best that no one ever was, of course. So, Chris,
I gotta say, it's scary, man.
Yeah, but pressure is on, but, do what you always do, battle, practice, whatever you need to do, and then you'll see that, maybe you'll go far in that, so. So, yeah, Chris.
Yeah. It is in Sorcerer's Cup, and I've been doing good in Sorcerer's Cup, so we'll see. But, I don't know. I'll make you proud.
All right, wonderful. Yeah, and many things to come, of course. South Arena, of course, is still moving into his second week or second month of Go Battle or Go Battle League. I'm so into Go Battle League these days. There's Sorcerer's Cup in June, of course, and if you guys want to get into that, make sure you check out celtarena.gg. They will definitely be welcoming new players every time, and if you want to take away from the random battles, you want to see some team battles, that's the place for you guys. So quick shout out to, of course, Celtarena for such an amazing place. But yeah, Chris, looks like that's it for our podcast today.
Ooh. It's been a fun one, man.
It's been a fun one. But of course, to make sure that you guys are here and whoever is listening, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you guys coming to the podcast in our live feeds, of course, on Sundays at 8 p.m. And of course, if you're listening on our podcast feeds, you can listen us to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and many more. If you want to give us some information or tell us about your day, of course, or how you play in Pokemon Go, you can email us you can email us at purifiedpodcast@gmail.com. Text us or voice messages at 941-417-9243. We're definitely listening to all the voice messages if you guys send some, and then we'll definitely read all the emails out there. Now, before we end our usual podcast here, I want to make sure that you guys are actually following us on our social media. You can also join us on our Discord. However, tomorrow there is a special announcement that we'll be making around 12 o'clock. So make sure you guys are ready for that. There is a special announcement that this podcast is going to be implementing. But if you want to hear more about it, definitely check us out tomorrow on our social medias. Myself, of course, at PurifiedGo, and then Chris, you at
Christo0517.
And definitely check us out, guys. We'll definitely be putting in any social media, in our Discord, of course, so you guys can see where we're coming from. It's going to be an awesome announcement. But Chris, you got anything else to say today?
Just keep getting XP, keep getting Stardust, Try to catch up with me in PvP, you'll be good.
Yeah. He's calling you out, guys. He's calling you out. But Chris, I want to thank you so much for joining us for today's podcast. And of course,
it's been a fun one, man.
And of course, everybody out there. We'll see you, of course, definitely, guys, next week. Chris, take it away.
Okay. It's been a really good week. Hopefully it gets better next week. I'm assuming it will with all the new shinies we'll be getting. Oh my gosh. So, keep optimistic. Get those shinies. Send them to us. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace out.
Have a good night.